What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ijama. I'm a family medicine attending, and it's been a minute since I've posted a video. As you guys know from my previous videos, I was pregnant and towards the end of my pregnancy. So I've since had the baby, which is the reason why I've been MIA. I have been adjusting to new mom life, postpartum life, all that good stuff. He was born about a little over a month ago. The labor and the delivery course were uncomplicated. I labored at home for the majority of my labor with the help of a doula. And then when it was like time, when I was kind of showing all the right signs, the contractions were close enough and blah, blah, blah. And the pain was getting there, or was there and surpassing there, I should say. Let me stop trying to be, the pain was a lot. I lost my mucus plug, did all that stuff at home, and then I went into the hospital. And by the time I got to the hospital, I was 8 to 9 centimeters. And he was born within an hour and a half of being in the hospital. I had him naturally. And when I tell you, if any of you guys have had a natural birth, please let me know in the comments, and just so we can just relate on that and come together on that and agree on that. Because the natural birth, it was, I don't even know how to describe it to this day. Just unimaginable. I really, it was part of my plan. I wanted to labor at home as long as possible. I wanted to try to go without an epidural. It was my first baby. I wanted to see how far my body could go, honestly. And I was just so proud of myself that I was able to do that. I would say that the day of delivery was probably the proudest day of my life. The proudest I've ever been of myself. My body just did things that I didn't know it was capable of doing. And it was just magical. It was a miracle. I feel like it was just a miracle because the way I felt coming into the hospital, the amount of pain I was having, how close the contractions were, this urge that I was having in my bottom and everything. Oh, it was coming in, I was asking for an epidural. I was I don't think I could do this that. But the nurses, everybody was you're so close, you're almost there, he's gonna be here so soon, you can do this, mama, you got this, we're gonna help you. They helped me with all my whatever different positions, on my side or on all fours and blah blah blah. And man, I was able to do it. And hardest thing I've ever done, but also the most intuitive, not the most, but a very intuitive thing. I've never been so in tune with my body, what it needed, where, how to push, how, all these things. Not having an epidural allowed me to really be present and experience this miracle of childbirth. So I wouldn't change my birth experience for the world. It was everything. My doctor that I saw throughout my clinic was the one who delivered me, and everything was great. And he's healthy. He is growing. He is eating a lot, he's doing 4-ounce bottles already. And he's a month old. He started doing that a couple weeks ago. Chopping, eating so much and growing so much. We had our 1-month visit with the pediatrician, and he was 17th percentile when he was first born. Now he's 50-something percentile, just growing so much. But healthy child, he don't cry too much. He cries for certain reasons. He's awake more now during the day. We've been working on the routine and the wake windows. I've been reading all this stuff, trying to figure out how I'm gonna sleep at night, because Chris is back to work and I'm doing all the night shifts. So I've been on it. How do I get this baby to be awake in the daytime and sleep at night? The last 2 nights we've had 5-hour stretches of sleep. And that is because I've also done dream feeds. Because he usually he would have woken up by the time we're about to go to bed, because we do his routine around 7. By 8 he's sleeping, and usually he wakes up somewhere between 10 and 11, so we handle him and then we go to bed. But the last 2 nights he hasn't done that, and I've actually just dream fed him, and then I'm gone to bed and he'll sleep. So that's why, I got all this energy. The other good thing, and that's making this season very manageable, is I have help at home. So currently I'm out. I just had lunch with Chris. I met him on his lunch break, and then I just came to the grocery store to get a few things. And I'm able to do that because my mother-in-law is at home with the baby. The last 2.5 weeks, my mom has been home with the baby, but now she left and my mother-in-law's with me, and she's gonna be with us until I go back to work. So like having that help, being able to get out of the house, just all of that is help. Is like I'm able to still get my number of hours of sleep that I need, even though it's kind of broken up or it's just different because of her. So I usually do the first, that first time he wakes up is usually pretty easy, like we're still awake, and then the second time he wakes up, I'll handle it. The third time, it just depends. Like it depends. The nights are still variable, but I usually do about 2 awakenings at night, and then when he wakes up, and then I give him to my mother-in-law, and then I go to sleep to get like a nice stretch of sleep, as opposed to like the 2 hours here and there. Okay, sorry, my camera overheated. It's so hot. But I don't remember what I was talking about. I had a natural birth. Oh, my mom's at home. My mother-in-law's at home. So it has been great to have the help. It's helped me feel like myself. I've been able to like get active. I just go to the gym and walk on the treadmill for like 30 minutes. And I just do like a very light incline and just a little bit of a brisk pace. And that's kind of all the activity that I do. I do have plans to do like a postpartum 12-week postpartum plan in terms of like guided exercise, getting back on track. But for right now, I'm just kind of taking it easy. During my pregnancy, you could probably tell like I didn't really gain that much weight around my body. It was just kind of all in my belly. So honestly, within a couple of weeks after delivery, I was back to my pre-pregnancy weight. And at this point, I'm actually less than my pre-pregnancy weight. And I think it's just because I've lost muscle. Like my abs aren't back. And like, you know, just during my pregnancy, I wasn't doing a lot of heavy lifting like I would typically do. So, you know, I'll eventually get back there, gain some more muscle, and try to, you know, get my body back where I would like it to be. But that's not something that I'm rushing. I think I have some good genetics that worked in my favor in terms of like me being a relatively thin, small framed person in general. But yeah, it's been an interesting time. It's definitely an adjustment. The sleeping thing is the biggest thing, but it's been able to be, it's been manageable because of help. And it's been good. I've had a lot of family visit, like spent a lot of time with my sister. Her kids are always coming, like cousins, you know, and they're very rambunctious. Our house is like very quiet for the most part. And so when they come over, it's just like, like everything is crazy. My sister's like, yeah, you got to make sure the house is like noisy and bright in the daytime and like dark and quiet at night. Which I try to do, but it's also just not a noisy house in general, because it'd be just me and my mother-in-law at home because Chris is gone, and she doesn't make that much noise. I don't make that much noise, so I usually just like the TV on and the lights and stuff to try to help him know like it's daytime, and then at night it's dark and quiet, use a little sound machine, all that stuff, so he knows it's nighttime. You know, it's really been, it's been going by fast. It's already been a month, 5 weeks, I don't really know exactly, over a month. Time is going by, but it's so cool, like just watching my son like change, like from the time he was born till now. He looks totally different. He's chunkier now, like he's so handsome. He looks just like his dad, who he was named after, so very fitting. There's nothing in him that looks like me right now. I'm hoping that I'm on the inside, like my personality and my like calmness and just athleticism. I just hope like I'm on the inside, and I'll, you know, as he gets older, like I'll see more of myself in him as opposed to like on him. But yeah, it's an adjustment, of course, like between like becoming like mom and dad versus husband and wife. Like, you know, me and Chris are figuring things out. Like us meeting up for lunch today was like the first date I'd say that we've had since he was born. Like, of course, we spend time together at home, like in the evening we may like have some wine together and just talk or stuff like that, but like we haven't really like done much else, which it's just an adjustment. You're trying to figure stuff out because you want to be home in the evening to do the nighttime routine, but then during the day he's working, you know, but we're getting there. We're figuring it out. The weekends can be busy. You don't want to go anywhere. I don't know. It's just it's very interesting how life changes. And I'm doing this podcast. That's all I've been listening to these days. I'm doing this vlog from my car because at home, I'm never alone at home. if that makes sense. And it's just kind of weird to be like vlogging with my like mom or my mother-in-law there, so it's just more comfortable. I can just kind of talk, so that's why I'm in the car. And anyway, I'm exclusively breastfeeding, not always direct breastfeeding, but I breastfeed usually during the day, and then I pump so that there's bottles at night. But we also use bottles during the day. Like for now, like when I'm gone, like my mother-in-law will use bottles. But I enjoy breastfeeding, and I usually breastfeed for a total of about an hour-ish a day. So it's usually like 2 or 3 sessions of breastfeeding in a day. The problem with but the thing about breastfeeding is that you can't tell how much the baby's getting, and then he has to work a little bit harder. So he falls asleep a lot of times at the breast, and then he'll like wake up, and so you have to like keep breastfeeding, like, ooh, you have to just be ready like to put him on and off, versus the bottle is like you just give him the bottle and he's like cool. So pros and cons, but we do both. And I have like an oversupply, so my breasts are like all engorged a lot, which is not fun. I went a time of like trying not to pump so often or trying not to breastfeed so often, and the supply, I feel like it like came down or regulated a little bit better, so I'm more comfortable these days. But I still produce a lot of milk. Like when I woke up this morning, I pumped like 13 ounces, which is a lot. But I also didn't pump overnight, so I skipped. I didn't pump overnight. I only pumped at like 1 a.m. and then not until I woke up again in the morning. So yeah, so far my supply is keeping up with his demand, but yeah, we're just see how things go. I'm not really stressing myself with the breastfeeding and breast milk. I'm not going crazy. Like I will keep doing it as long as I can, and then keep doing it at work. I have like Willow pumps to go back to work with, and we'll just see how it goes. I don't want to stress myself about it. I already have formula in the cabinet for whenever, if that time comes. I'm not anti this or that. I want to breastfeed as long as I can and like keep doing this. But if at some point things dry up, like I'm not trying to like go to great lengths to like, you know, go crazy. But I enjoy breastfeeding. I want to keep doing it as long as I can, and so far the supply is good, and I'm, you know, maintaining a healthy diet and whatnot. And so I think like there's no reason why like I would like the supply would just drop off. So yeah, that's life these days. It's breastfeeding, pumping, feeding, changing diapers, rocking to sleep, waking up at night, all the joys of the newborn phase. But I've been enjoying it, honestly. It's just great. It's just amazing seeing the fact that you're like, you're raising this child and he's growing, and like you're sustaining him and like you're nurturing him, and I'm enjoying it as much as the sleep deprivation is there, but I'm enjoying it, and it's cool. Chris is doing a good job. He's just waiting for him to get older. He's like, I just want to like play more, because right now all he can do is like kiss him and hold him. And he's like, I want to like run outside with him. I want to teach him all these things, and so he's like waiting for him to start crawling and walking, and I think he'll be like way more engaged. At this point, it's like, okay, I held the baby and whatever, you know. But I think for dads, I don't know if all dads are like that, but for Chris, it's just like, when is he gonna be active? So, but I'm soaking up this phase just as much as I'll soak up that phase when he's active. So yeah, that's life these days. That's where I'm at. I have 12 weeks off of work, so I have a couple more months of maternity leave, which I'm gonna enjoy to the fullest. Yeah, you know, that's life for me right now. I am got a couple more months of maternity leave. I'm gonna just be enjoying things. I'm looking forward to celebrating my birthday, however that looks. I have already mourned my like big 30th birthday. At first I was, you know, have friends who are like they do like big trips